Hello and welcome to Ruth Rempel's virtual stamp party, and this is card number 2. And so I'm excited about doing what I call a stacker card. And what qualifies as a stacker card is when there's so many layers on it. You literally can't count how many layers that there are between embellishments and die cuts and everything. This card has lots of layers, designer series paper, cardstock, embellishments, everything. So good morning, Marie. Hello, Lisa and Wendy. Hey. So I'm excited to show you, and following with my self-proclaimed I'm my own worst, like, hey, have to stick to the program person, because I know you guys are so gracious and appreciate anything I do to bring you guys some inspiration. But I'm sticking with the plan of trying to show you some of the designer series papers that are on sale. And so today I am using some of the Forever Fern, and I just used it last week in Pam Cranky's party, which is still open. And I did the sloth and made it look kind of jungly and such, but today I'm toning it down, kind of using it maybe the way it was intended to be, with florals and flowers and things like that type of occasion. Hello, Robin. And so I think I can get started. Oh, I didn't even show you the card. Okay, so here's a little sneak peek of the card. So like I said, lots of layers and elements and everything to it. So let's get started. So if you like to follow along, I'm in the annual catalog, so the cover looks like that. And on page 108 is where they show tons of samples and everything to go with the whole suite of products and such. So this is the pretty paper that is on sale. Normally it is $11.50, but it's on sale this month for $9.78. And so I haven't bought any on sale yet because I bought so many packages when it wasn't on sale. So this is the stamp set, the Forever Fern, that I am going to be using my stamping images from. And you'll be so excited because today I'm using just one stamp set, because I'm going to blow you away with everything else that I'm adding to it. So okay, let me get my iPad there so I can see your guys' comments. Good morning, Nancy, and hello, Donna. Okay, so here is the card that I am going to make for you guys. Like I said, lots to it. So hopefully you can find some techniques and maybe some extra little embellishments to add to your supply. I always think it's fun just to add a little bit of something new here or there. And today I kind of just went over the top with punches, dies, everything. So this is the fun paper, and you've seen me use all sorts of wild stuff like this and beautiful elegant cards with some of this. And then last week you saw me even use this jungle print theme to go with the sloth too. So I'm going to pull out a different sheet, which is kind of more just the green leaf. And so for a card, I just cut a path down my 12 by 12 sheet, 5.5 inches, and then I just sliced it across in 3-inch widths. That way, I always think 3-inch or 4-inch, you get an even amount going all the way across. So you could make 8 cards out of one sheet of 12 by 12 designer series paper of this card using that design too. So and then the dies that I'm using, just one die set today, and that's part of the bundle, and that's the Forever Flourishing dies that coordinate with the Forever Fern stamp set. And I think my hardest dilemma when I use this is knowing where to stop, where to start with all the greenery, because I love the greenery. It's just so detailed. If you can see in there, you stamp it out and there's so much depth to it, which is amazing and wonderful at the same time. Okay, so I have to go with where do I even start, because there's so much to it. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with building my daisy here. And so I'm going to pull out my daisy punch. In the catalog, there's daisy punch and medium daisy punch in the back of the annual catalog, and I am using the daisy punch. So I'm going to stamp that out, or punch that out 3 times. And that's unusual too, because usually when I do daisies, I'll do just 2 and kind of just kink it so that they layer and look full, and that is good enough for me. And that's probably why I only do 2, because by about the 3rd pass through, then I get it stuck in there. Okay, so sponge daubers. I don't know if I've used this for a while here. I love how they fit right on my finger. They fit on most people's fingers, so that's good. And Nancy's from New York. I always feel like, ooh, important when somebody joins me from far, far away. So with the sponge dauber, I just tap it into my ink pad, and this is the new In Color Bumblebee. And I start in the middle and just kind of swipe out. And there's a reason I start in the middle is because if you're like me, and have a heavy hand, sometimes it can be like too much. And so if I'm starting in the middle, well, that's probably going to get covered up. And if it's blotchy, then I know that I can just cover it up too. So I start in the middle and just kind of go out like so. And I'm going to do that on all 3 of the daisies so that when they're layered, then you will see that sponge look all 3 depths of it. So, and then what I do, and you guys will think this is maybe funny too, I'll pick my favorite one. So I feel like this one kind of ended up with like a little bit of a streak, so that's going to go on the bottom. And so there's no rhyme or reason. I kind of like how golden this one turned out, so I think that one's going to be my favorite top one. So it's kind of like, yeah, sometimes you get to pick favorites. And like I said, normally I layer, I don't want to say, try to do this in the camera, like every other one, like so, and that fills in fun. But this time I'm gonna kind of go like a 3rd, and that way it'll look really full, and there'll be kind of a space for that 3rd one to go on top, my favorite one. Okay, so I'm just pressing a glue dot on the back side of each one, and then that is what's going to hold it together. Just 1 glue dot. You don't need tons of that to get it to stick together. Hello, Angie. Hi, Barb. And let's see. Okay, so next I'm going to take my bone folder and I just kind of curl. And I do this kind of gently because there's 3 layers. I normally do this, like I said, with 2, and if I get too aggressive, it almost makes it want to look bent at about the halfway point on the leaves and such, and I don't like that bent look. So just going to kind of do that to give it a flattened down look, so when I pop it up, the leaves have somewhere to go down. Hello, Julie. Okay, so I think I'm just going to set that aside, and a bunch of you just joined in, so I'm just going to show you the card again that I'm working on. Lots of stuff to it, like I said. So far I've just built up the daisy here, and then I'm going to take one of the greenery images from the stamp set Forever Fern, and I'm just going to stamp that out a couple times in Bumblebee ink, like so. And this is where I say the images are so amazing and incredible, because this is just 1 ink pad, but look at the depth of light to dark on that. So that's what makes it so fun. So I think I'm ready to use my Big Shot. So what I'm going to do with my Big Shot is I'm going to, with my magnetic pad, hold down that one. And I only have 1 of those dies, so this one's going to get set aside for the next time. And then I am going to take some old olive. Whoops, here I'll show you. And then this is just one of the other dies in the Forever Flourishing bundle of dies too. Okay, and then I need my plate here, like so. Whoops. I can tell already that it's not cutting because I don't have enough layers in there. So I need to add 1 more shim. There we go. Every once in a while, I'll set things aside and run something else through in between my projects. Okay, so I've got one of these, but I need two. So I'm going to go ahead and layer the next one and get that on there like so. And then this, I love how these dies are so great. Pops right out of the paper, and then it's just a, oh, I don't even have to poke it to get this to come out too. And you can see not only does it cut, but it kind of gives it an embossed look on those leaves too. So I'm going to set that aside. And then this is going to be one of the layers of the card. And so I'm just going to lay that on there, and then in the middle, because nobody's gonna see that, I'm just going to lay that to get one of those little sprigs cut out too, to add part of my background. So, and I will be honest, when I do virtual parties, I kind of have in mind like how many die cut passes do I want to do versus stamp camp. If I'm making like 80 of one card and I already know I've had to do like, you know, 5 passes or something, that's a lot of die cutting. So sometimes I feel like well, at least I hope I'm spoiling my virtual hostesses a little bit by doing projects that maybe we wouldn't accomplish at stamp camp. So I have all these pieces here, and I'm just going to lay aside those other pieces because there's so many, so I don't get them confused. Okay, so I think I can do my layering now. It seems like a lot, but it's really pretty simple. So like I said, here's my 5.5 by 3 inch strip, and I'm just going to tape that down. Oops. And you can see it's kind of got a fun back side to it as well. And then I cut out that die cut, and we're just going to cover that up. So this is shaded, nope, garden green. I'm putting it on garden green, and that is 5.5 by 3 1/4. And I was going to put the entire card on Bumblebee, but when I added some of the elements that were darker, I thought, oh, I kind of want to bring in one fall color, which is soft suede. So that's how my soft suede became my card base, actually. Okay, so I'm just going to put that on the next layer, and that one's going to be a little bit wider instead of my normal 1/4 inch step up. So this is Bumblebee 5.5 by 3 3/4, so 3.75 on there. And then before I get ready to put it on my card base of soft suede, this is the part that we all have to stop and go, okay, so put that ribbon on before you attach it to the card base, because that can be a disaster sometimes. Sometimes it's easy to lift things up and make that work, but yeah. And the ribbon that I'm using is the Bumblebee gingham ribbon. So I'm just gonna tie that in a knot, not in any bow, so I'm not changing my strategy up too much with this card. And I'm gonna grab my scissors that I use for cutting ribbon. Just take a little snip on both sides here like so. Yeah, the Bumblebee gingham ribbon is absolutely adorable. I was hoping the camera, there we go, the camera picked that up finally. And so then this layer next is ready to go on my card. And I think assembling, I thought this card could take a while to make for you guys, but I think when I was assembling it myself, I kind of overguessed, and I did swap out a lot of ideas and a lot of different colors and a lot of different accessories too. So I think once I'm putting it together for you, it's just gonna fly together because of that. Okay, so I've got that on there on some soft suede just to kind of ground the card a little bit. And oh, before I forget, back to my sponge dauber. A lot of you ask, like, do you mark it like, okay, I've used this with Bumblebee? Some people do that. They just put like a little sticky strip or tape it on there saying the color. I just wash mine underneath my faucet until it runs clear, and then it's good to use for the next color that I want to use it for, and that works out great. So what I'm going to do, since this is kind of the focal point, is I'm going to put my dimensional underneath here because this is going to be popped up, but I'm not going to take off the sticker yet. I'm just going to place it there so that I can have an idea of where everything else should go, and then I can kind of move it around. And then glue dots are going to be a good friend for this project, as I put a couple glue dots underneath there. So I'm like, okay, that's how far I want it to kind of stick, and I want it to go pretty close to the card edge. So then I just kind of press down once I get it where I want it to be, like so. And then I'm just going to add a couple glue dots again to my bumblebee. I always want to call it greenery, but is it greenery when it's bumblebee? Bumblebee-ery. Okay, and whoops. I want to make sure I'm getting 2 glue dots on there. There we go. And then once again, I can just have my daisy on there like so. And then I just add that layer. And then I want this one to kind of peek out next to my ribbon like so and stay on my card. Oops, I wonder if I did get, I feel like I didn't get 2 glue dots on my bumblebee piece here. It's popping up and it shouldn't. Okay, so now I have that tacked down good. And that last little piece here. So yeah, I was even debating about this, and I already had an extra one kind of cut and in the package. So I thought, oh, that does kind of go nice. So I decided to add one more little piece to kind of pop out. Oops, I want to tuck it like so and like that. And then something that I haven't used a lot of, and pieces like this I try and kind of keep together because they can actually break sometimes if you're not careful, but yet they're pretty sturdy. Hello, Patricia. Thanks for joining in. So these are the In Good Taste elements, and they're just little wooden accent pieces. Here, actually, you can see, and this is kind of what inspired me to add that extra layer of soft suede, because you can kind of see that there's like a stained look to it. And so I'm going to pull out one of the larger leaves here from that sheet. And you can see I did break off one because I have a heavy hand. And even when I'm using markers and different things, or even writing, I have a heavy hand. So when I put these on, I want to tell you that you'll probably be fine with them. But when you press on the element to the glue dot, press it just straight down, because if you wobble it at all, because this is a round thing, then sometimes that could make one of these break in half or something too. So I'm just putting 2 glue dots on these little wooden elements like so. Okay, and then one is going to kind of be up on the top here like so, and then the other one is going to be down below. And since they're so pretty, I want to make sure that as much of it sticks out as possible. And then I'm ready to take off that little sticker top from my dimensional and put that on like so. So like I said, lots of layers for Ruth's card today. Kind of went like over the top with that. And then because the glue dots, you can kind of like move them around a little bit between the layers. You can kind of swirl that however you want to, but having 3 on there really makes it full. And then I played around with a lot of different accessories that I wanted to use, and I felt like this was the best, both for the color to kind of match everything else and just kind of the theme of it. I didn't want it to be too shiny when it's kind of a nature thing. And I'm just going to pull off one of the larger of the gilded, yes, I don't know if I showed it to you, gilded gems. And so the sheet has lots of nice sizes on there. And I'm just going to put one single one in the center, like so. And then, of course, we need a greeting. And I kind of wanted to tie in that soft suede just a little bit more. So I'm pulling out my soft suede ink pad. And in the stamp set, there's the hello. There's actually lots of nice varying sentiments in there for different occasions. And hello is something that that you guys always tell me that you like in your cards, because that way you can use it kind of for any occasion. So I just did soft suede on some more of that garden green, just a little strip, so Lisa will be like, oh, she's using her scraps again, which is wonderful, and I am. And yesterday I used this classic label punch, and I'm going to do that again, and just I'm going to center that hello into there, and it pops right out. And because this is a long skinny strip, then I go to the edge of my dimensionals, and sometimes I just kind of tear off that whole edge, and then I'm just going to cut a strip here of the skinniest part and take off the back here like so, so that we have a really skinny strip, because otherwise the dimensionals would show up. And then I just place that on the back of my sentiment, and then that's going to go across the top here like so. And kind of want it to stick over the edge, otherwise it might blend in a little bit with all the greenery. And then for the inside, I'm just going to finish that with Bumblebee and that same stamped image there, and just a really simple inside. But like I say, these stamped images in the stamp set are absolutely gorgeous. So can't believe I haven't done more with it for you guys, just because they are so fun and amazing. Okay, and that's gonna be the inside. And so I love like just the Bumblebee and the soft suede together to make it look very fall-like. So, oh, thank you, Marie. So yeah, I think I have everything added. Like I said, I played around with so many different things that once it's together, now I'm like, did it really come together like I planned it and got everything on there? So yeah, just adding all these little elements is kind of fun. So kind of different than maybe what you've seen the Forever Fern paper look like, but hopefully it can be something fun that you can maybe change up different papers or colors that you want and make your own variation of that too. So very good. Let me turn my camera around here. So yeah, so that is card number 2 already. Whoops. For Ruth Rumpel's virtual stamp party. And thank you to those that have ordered. I'm going to check in with Ruth today and let her know what her party sales are at. And then hopefully she can let me know kind of how long she is going to leave her party open for. Thank you, Robin. Yeah, I had fun putting together a cheery card today. It kind of still looks like fall, but kind of has a little extra pop to it too. So, so how you can get to the cards that I'm crafting for Ruth's party, if you need supplies, you can place a minimum $25 order, and then you'll get all 3 of the cards. So the card I made yesterday morning, and then today, and then tomorrow I'm crafting one. I already have an idea of what I'm going to make for tomorrow, and you'll get the 3 cards as a thank you from both myself and Ruth for ordering through her party. And then everything just ships directly to her, so you can contact me to say, hey, this is what I need to order, and or you can order online, go to my website and order that way, and just plug in her host code that was on my workstation space. Or otherwise, next I'm going to upload the card, and I'm going to show you all the supplies that I used to make the card, and then that will also have Ruth's special host code that you can enter in if you're ordering online. But I can always help you with that too. So otherwise, I think that's it, and I will be back again tomorrow. And we only have just a couple gorgeous days left in Minnesota. We're hearing reports of snow that might be coming by the end of the week. So today I want to wash all the windows on my house, because I have been known to wait too long and then have my water literally freeze to my windows. And I have some potatoes and carrots to be dug out of my garden yet too. So today and tomorrow will definitely not be double card days like it was yesterday. But I will be back again tomorrow, probably in the morning, just so that I give the day some time to warm up here in Minnesota before I head outside for those tasks. So have a great day, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.